Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services, the video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The most important news and editorial of the day that is relevant for both prelims and mains examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 25th of June. The first news, Center approved draft car safety scheme, something very important in Indian context. Second, VL SR-SAM missile system successfully test fired. Third, norms to protect child right working on the OTT platform. We'll see the detail, the government draft rule in this. Fourth, RBI guarding the rupees high volatility. And the last is an editorial, the advent of absolute chaos in Narega. A very important article that will give you an insight about the challenges that has been imposed to the workers after the implementations of the app-based attendance. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press like button. So starting with the first news of the day, that is Center approved draft car safety scheme, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from it, design and implementations. So an important step has been taken by the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway. We'll see the detail about this draft car safety scheme. So recently, the Union Minister for Road Transport and Highway has approved the draft GSR notifications, right, to introduce the Bharat Ncap, that is New Car Assessment Program. So this is the new scheme that the Government of India has come up with. इस स्कीम के थ्रू हर एक कार की जो खास करके अगर बात करें जो सेफ्टी है उसकी रेटिंग दी जाएगी according to the star rating is there, like in electronic equipments we have a star rating, so accordingly the car would be also given with a star rating. So a 5-star rating system under the new Bharat Car Assessment Program would be there, and it will assign for the car between 1 to 5 based on their performance. अगर वो कार एक्सीडेंट होती है तो थ्रैश में किस कैटेगरीज में किस स्टार रैंकिंग में वो फॉल करेगी, राइट. सो विथ बेसिकली द नंबर जो थ्रैश में जो कार की परफॉर्मेंस थोड़ी ठीक रहेगी उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ही स्टार रेटिंग्स दी जाएगी, राइट. इंडिकेटिंग 0 स्टार इंडिकेटिंग दैट देयर हैव अ लोअर सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड. So this is a new set of parameters which has been recently introduced by the Government of India via the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway, and this will also give an insight to the buyers that this car, if met with an accident or thrash, basically thrash test के through ये पता चल पाएगा कि accidental prone में कौन सी कार कितनी safety होंगी. So the star mark would the highest would be for the 5-star. Now Bharat Ncap, that is New Car Assessment Program, will be a critical instrument in making our automobile industry Atmanirbhar and mission for making India that #1 automobile hub in the world. Currently अगर बात करें जो इंडियन कार्स है they are especially in the hatchback segment and they have poorly in the global NACP standard. जो अगर ग्लोबल न्यू कार असेसमेंट प्रोग्राम की स्टैंडर्ड्स के मुताबिक हमारी इंडियन कार जो मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं खास करके जो हैचबैक सेगमेंट्स होती हैं उनमें काफ़ी पुअर, राइट. देयर आर 4 or 5 सेगमेंट्स इन द कार, हैचबैक, एसयूवीज, इस तरह के सेगमेंट होते हैं. आई विल शो यू अ इमेज दैट विल गिव यू क्लैरिटी. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ कार, दिस इज अ बलेनो, दिस इज अ हैचबैक मॉडल, या फिर आप ऑल्टो, स्विफ्ट, ये जितनी गाड़ियाँ हैं ये हैचबैक मॉडल्स में होती हैं. उसके बाद द अदर वेरिएंट इज सेडान, लाइक यू कैन टेक स्विफ्ट डिज़ायर और यू कैन SX4. इस तरह की जो गाड़ी है वो सेडान की कैटेगरीज में आती है. आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ दिस, बट सम ऑफ यू मस्ट ऑल्सो बी कन्फ्यूज्ड अबाउट दिस वेरिएंट्स. और जो बड़ी गाड़ी होती है SUV, जिसको कहते हैं स्पोर्ट्स यूटिलिटी व्हीकल्स, लाइक फॉर्च्यूनर, सफारी, ये SUV की कैटेगरीज में आती है. तो ये 3 वेरिएंट्स हैं इंडिया में. जो हैचबैक के वेरिएंट्स हैं उनकी पैरामीटर्स ग्लोबल लेवल पे एक्सीडेंटल प्रोन या फिर जो खास करके टेस्ट की जाती है थ्रैश टेस्ट, उसमें नंबर्स काफ़ी कम है. Now, what is the aim of this Bharat NCAP, जो new car assessment program है? It will serve a consumer critical platform that will allow the customer to opt for the car safety, and even this star rating will provide an surety that if this car meet with an accident, the OEM manufacturer will have to ensure that they are providing the adequate security stuffs. According to the Minister Road Transport and Highway, Mr. Nitin Gadkari has said that star rating of the Indian car based on the thrust test is extremely crucial, not only to ensure structural or passenger safety but also to increase the export worthiness of Indian automobiles. Because India is a country, खास करके अगर कुछ important companies की बात करें like Suzuki and even Tata, they export automobiles to other countries as well. तो वहाँ पे भी जो हमारी एक set of standards है, जो parameters हैं, उनकी value भी बढ़ेगी. Now, the Bharat New Car Assessment Program will serve as a consumer-centric platform that will allow consumer to opt for a safer-based car, and their star rating will be promoting healthy competition among the Indian manufacturers. So this is a new trend that we can expect very soon, and this parameters or this basically rule will be mandatory for all the manufacturers. Now, execution plans की अगर बात करें, the draft notification was introduced, Bharat NCAB, AP, that is New Car Assessment Program. And under the scheme, once approved and introduced, the star rating will be given to the car based on their performance in the thrust test. The government ने ये भी कहा that this test protocol for the Bharat NCAP will be aligned with the global thrust test protocol, factoring the Indian regulations, खासकर के जो OEMs हैं, and even give the vehicles their own in-house testing facilities, right? And these testing protocol for the Bharat NCAP will also be aligned with the global thrust test, जहाँ पे जितने भी Indian regulations खासकर जो companies हैं उसको इन parameters को meet करनी होगी. The development also comes a month before in expecting the mandate, जहाँ पे अभी recently government of India ने 6 airbag mandate करने की बात की गई थी passenger vehicles में, which is again a right step in a right direction, right? So in this effort, we will bring down the numbers for the road accident in India and even death by 50% to the year end by possibly by 2030. So these are the targets that government of India has set, and even the parameters would accordingly made, because this is something we have to measure in terms of the global regulations, the global standard also. And even if India is exporting such numbers of car, the global parameters should definitely be met. Now, other news, that is VLSR SAM missile system successfully test fired, important for General Studies paper 3, that is achievement of India in science and technology, Indianizations of technology and development of new technology. So recently the Defense Research and Development Organization, which is also known as DRDO, has announced that it has successfully test fired the vertical launched short range surface to air missile from Indian naval ship at the coast or from the coast of Chandipur in Odisha. So these are the two images, official images that were released by the ANI. So you can see this is how the missile test actually took place. Now about the VLSR SAM, this is again important for prelims examination. Many a times UPSC tend to ask in the prelims examination some factual information about the questions. So VLSRM is a shipborne weapon system that is meant to neutralize various air threat that is close, including the sea skimming targets. And VLSRM has been designed to strike at the high speed of airborne at a range of 40 kilometers to 50 kilometers and at an altitude of 15 kilometers, right? So these are the ranges upon which VLSR SAM is capable of. Now, अगर डिजाइन की बात करें, basically according to the DRDO officer, VLSRM design is based on the Astra missile, which is beyond visual range air to air missile. Now this has been canisterized system which is meant to be stored in the operated from the design compartment. और इसके कुछ दो significant features हैं. First is cuneiform wings. You can see these are the 4 wings. This is called the cuneiform wings, which arranged like a cross on a 4 side and has a projection stable for aerodynamics postures, right? So if this is being your statement in the examination, you can easily able to figure it out. Now other is the thrust vectoring. It's an ability to change the direction of the thrust from the engine and has an angular velocity and altitude of the missile. So these are the two peculiar features in terms of their designs. Now the other news, norms to protect child of kids working on OTT platform, important for general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So the National Commission for the Protection of Child Right, so known as NCPR, they have published a draft guideline to regulate the child protection in terms of the industry, entertainment industries. जो ऐसे बच्चे OTT प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे काम कर रहे हैं उनकी कैसे राइट्स को प्रोटेक्ट की जाए उसको लेकर के एक ड्राफ्ट रेगुलेशन लाई गई. The guideline to regulate the child participation in the entertainment industries were issued by the Commission in 2011 itself, but उसमें और भी बहुत सारे changes लाए गए and it has been stringent so that it is adequately implemented. The present draft increases the scope of the guideline to cover the social media and OTT platforms for the first time. So इससे पहले जो regulations थे in that entertainment industries में, that were not for the social media or neither for the OTT platform. So they have incorporated the social media and OTT platform in the basically the draft guideline that was released way back in 2011. Now stringent penal provisions rakhi gayi hai. The commissions have said that the penal provision would be there if something is violated in terms of child right, that include imprisonment, mandated that the child artist and the children were being used for the industry need not they should be registered with the district magistrate. एक permissions या फिर एक prior information को district administration को देनी होगी. अगर वो नहीं देते हैं, this would mount to the penal provisions. Children are now being used in video across social media and content in the OTT platform and had not been covered in the existing guidelines. So उनके influence को देखते हुए ये सारी regulations लाई गई. Parents who are using children to make money will have to be held accountable. If it is a role which is something favoring him or even it's his interest or even if we're giving back something to society, it's well and good. If their sole purpose is to make money, this will also taken as a penal provisions, right? So the provisions under the Juvenile Act 2015 ये सारे provisions applicable होंगे उस काम में, right? Child Labor Amendment Act, protections of child from sexual offences 2012, information technology intermediate guideline in the digital media ethics code जो कि recently release की गई government of India के द्वारा, and these all guidelines would be implemented to ensure that a child right is adequately protected. Now engagement of child की अगर बात करें, with the boom of the technology and media, child increasing and by the parents and guardian for the content creation, generating a large number of viewers and followers, and in the absence of any monitoring mechanism, the children in the industry are at the grave risk of exploiting because they lack legal rights and even earning the generate and safe working conditions की ज़रूरत है so that adequate protections are also there, and even the labor laws that are applicable for the children has to be adequately implemented. So this will also ensure that the protection of the child in India is ensured and no बेसिकली कोई भी ऐसी जो भी लॉज बनी हुई है चाइल्ड के लिए उसको किसी भी तरह से कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं किया जा रहा है इंडिया में. Now necessary permission, as I've told you in the beginning, district magistrate, district collector, deputy commissioner, whatever you call it, तो ये इनके साथ permissions mandatory होंगे and producer will have to run a disclaimer measuring that they ensure that no abuse, neglect or exploitation is taking place in the entire shooting. If it is so, then he would be liable for the penal provisions. Now कुछ चीज़ों में prohibitions लगाने की बात की गई है. The guideline prohibit child from being cast in a situation where it is inappropriate, considered to be given the child age, maturity, emotional, psychological development and sensitivity of the issues, right? So these are some of the prohibition that a producer director has to take into consideration. Now financial security की बात की गई है इस guideline में because it is important that child who is working for any of the OTT and social media platform, तो जो भी amount revenue generate होगी उसकी 20% at least should be जो भी वो income earn करते हैं total amount के 20% को एक fixed deposit account में रखा जाएगा उस individual बच्चे के नाम पे. If he get mature, he can on a majority or you can say attaining a maturity, he can get that amount. And creating content by the child and family guardian shall be treated as a child working on a family enterprises as provided under section 3 subsection 2a of the Child Labor and Adolescence Act of 1986, and shall also provide for the specific procedure that are laid down in the chapter in addition to the provision of regulation agar ye zarurat padi if applicable. So these are some of the major changes that has been incorporated under the rules. Now, RBI guarding the rupee from high volatility, important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian Economy and Issues related to Planning, Mobilization, Resource Growth and Development. The Reserve Bank of India Deputy Governor has confirmed that the central bank, which is like RBI, is intervening in the market to defend the rupee. We have seen the depreciation of the value. Now the RBI is taking its course of action that indeed would be visible in a due course of time. But ये कुछ ऐसी policies होती हैं जिन्हें हमें समय के साथ wait करना पड़ता है. So he said that it is not tough. It is not targeting any specific level of domestic currency, but rather when RBI intervene in the forex market, is sell dollars and buy rupees to prevent one-way movement in the domestic currencies. But RBI के भी approach कुछ और है. The central bank forex reserve stood up to $596.46 billion as of 10th of June. Now, depreciating of the rupee. Recently, we have seen that the value of rupee was depreciating, and even it is ongoing. The Reserve Bank of India Deputy Governor has said that the level of depreciation of the rupee is one of the lowest in the world. Comparatively to other economy or other currencies, the depreciation of rupee is lower. The rupees has been weakening against the dollar steadily after the aggressive rate hike by the US Federal Reserve. So US की जो Fed है, it's a central bank, or you can say it's a US RBI. So वहाँ पे जो हमारे यहाँ पे RBI कहते हैं, US के US Federal Reserve कहते हैं. उनकी policies almost globally impact करती हैं. Being dollar the currency जहाँ पे उसकी जो global trade है dollars में ज़्यादा लोग करते हैं. So US Fed Reserve की जो policies है काफ़ी ज़्यादा important होती है. The domestic currency closed at the all-time low of 78.32 against the dollar on 23rd June, and it is down more by 5% compared to the year 2022. So अगर देखा जाए तो पिछले के मुकाबले भी value depreciate हो रही है. RBI is taking adequate measures, but definitely it will take it time to come to the normal value. Factors that affecting the depreciation of rupees, कुछ important factors हैं like rising crude oil prices, strong dollars. The currency is widely expected to touch 80 to the dollar by end of 2022. This is what the projection is. And the Bank of American Securities expects that the rupee 81 to the dollar by the year end. So these are some of the projections that has already been anticipated. Now RBI ने क्या क्या measures लिए हैं इसको protect करने के लिए. So the Deputy Governor has expressed the hope that it will have a more moderate than elsewhere in the world, and this will be able to bring inflations back to target with a 2 year of the span. And RBI ने अभी भी inflation targeting के लिए flexibility band रखी है 2 to 6% की. Earlier this month, RBI has said that the repo rate by the 50 basis point, जो कि recent में RBI ने ये decision लिया, and even for the second such, they have increased in the 2 months. The first raise was 40 basis point, that is an unscheduled meeting in May, and it has also raised the inflation की जो projections की गई है वो 6.7% for the fiscal, which is earlier forecasted as 5.7%. So this forecast depend upon the performance of the value of the rupees and even the important decision that is taken by across the world. जो सेंट्रल बैंक्स हैं पूरे वर्ल्ड में ग्लोबली खास करके यूएस फेड की जो डिसीजंस होती हैं वो इंडियन इकोनॉमी में काफ़ी ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट करती है. Now, moving to the editorial of a brilliant editorial that will give you an insight about the recent implementation where the government has come up with the app-based attendance. So this editorial, the advent of absolute chaos in NREGA. This is important for General Studies Paper 2, that is welfare schemes for the population by the center and the states. So we'll see the detail about this particular editorial. So this entire editorial focuses upon the National Mobile Monitoring Software app and its concern. And I'll be simplifying this editorial 6 important subheads that include conditions affecting worker, कुछ challenges क्या क्या हैं, errors in the pilot project, no physical record is there, strength, the social audit, and conclusion. So let's directly jump into the editorial. So in May 2021, the Ministry of Rural Development has launched an app which is known as National Mobile Monitoring Software NMMS or NMMS, a new applications that aims to improve the oversight and increasing transparency, जहाँ पे जो नरेगा या मनरेगा आप बोल सकते हैं नेशनल रूरल एम्प्लॉयमेंट गारंटी एक्ट में ट्रांसपेरेंसी लाने के लिए जो लोग वहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं उनकी जियो टैगिंग की जाएगी और अटेंडेंस को रिपोर्ट किया जाएगा. बट इन अ कंट्री लाइक इंडिया इट इज़ अ चैलेंज बिकॉज most of the people are not that informed to register for their attendance, right? तो ये एक ऐसी प्रॉब्लम है जिसने काफ़ी ज़्यादा जो लोग इनरोल्ड हैं मनरेगा में उनके साथ प्रॉब्लम की. So it is being deployed that Narega mates, local women at the panchayat level who are selected to train monitor the work site has also not has been reported that their work efficiency is very poor. The main feature of this app is to have a real-time photographed geo-tagged attendance for every worker that has to be taken on each day on half of the day. तो पूरी दिन रहनी होती है. मैं आपको अभी कुछ challenges जो concern raise किए गए वो भी आपको बताऊंगा that how this app is creating problem in the other livelihood option of the people working for the Manrega. Now, conditions that is affecting the worker, like while such app may be used for monitoring the attendance, like in most states अगर बात करें मनरेगा की जो कैलकुलेशंस की जाती है वो हर एक इंडिविजुअल ने उस पूरे दिन में कितनी काम की है उस पे की जाती है एक्चुअल में, राइट. नाउ दिस ऐप हैज मैंडेटेड दैट दे हैव टू बी देयर फॉर द फिक्स्ड आवर, राइट. बहुत सारे स्टेट में फिक्स्ड आवर नहीं है. अगर आपने पहले काम खत्म कर लिया आपको जितनी देर काम करनी है आपको उतनी देर की पेमेंट मिलेगी. बट इस ऐप ने ये टाइम को मैंडेटरी कर दिया दैट यू हैव टू बी देयर फॉर द एंटायर डे. सो दिस फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी टू द इज की टू मनरेगा वाइड स्प्रेड डिमांड. इसी वजह से मनरेगा फेमस हुई. आप जितनी देर काम करेंगे उतनी देर की आपको पेमेंट मिलेगी. However, making attendance mandatory on the app is creating the problem. This caused significant difficulty to the workers, and even the condition for registering Manrega attendance on the app put them into the dilemma that how they have to overgo or they have to register it. So some basically technical bottlenecks is evident of the fact that the attendance were not reported adequately. ना कुछ और चैलेंजेस की अगर बात करें, द स्टेबल नेटवर्क इज़ अगेन अ प्रॉब्लम. जहाँ पे रियल टाइम मॉनिटरिंग के लिए जो एक नेटवर्क चाहिए होती है रूरल इंडिया में उसकी कनेक्टिविटी की भी इश्यूज हैं. द क्लाउड लेड वर्कर्स, दिस कुड लेड टू द वर्कर दैट नॉट बीइंग गिवन द अटेंडेंस. और अटेंडेंस में खास करके वर्कर्स की ये बात कही गई है कि आप फिजिकल फॉर्म्स में भी अटेंडेंस लें जहाँ पे उनके सिग्नेचर्स होते थे. दीज आर बीइंग रूल्ड आउट नाउ. ऑल थिंग्स आर मेड डिजिटल. सो दोज people who are having problem in getting the attendance and जिनके पास स्मार्टफोन नहीं है जो डिस्क्वालीफाई करते हैं इस तरह की चीज़ों के, तो उनके पास बाद में कोई रिकॉर्ड नहीं होती वो पता कर पाएँ कि एक्चुअल में उन्होंने काम किया कि नहीं. उसकी प्रूफ वो कैसे देंगे. बिकॉज दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम. वर्कर्स इन केरला एंड झारखंड हैव ऑलरेडी फेस दिस प्रॉब्लम इन अपलोडिंग देयर अटेंडेंस ड्यू टू ऐप बेस्ड नेटवर्क प्रॉब्लम. And the new condition disqualify them to there even for using smartphone. And the new mobile app monitoring system application has a problem that clearly erode the right to work, and even for the work they have done payment में भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा उनको problem हुई है because the attendance is not marked. Then how they will receive the payment, right? Now, error in pilot projects. The app has been launched on a pilot basis on the last year with the states that they are voluntary to choose it. Official and activists have confirmed that implementation error has been evident throughout the pilot scheme. Within a week of mandate, बहुत सारे states ने complaint submit की that they are creating problem, they are getting problem in error in terms of reporting the attendance. The Ministry of Rural Development is also offer has any solution reassurance even for the responses also. तो बहुत ज़्यादा इनको technical support भी ministry की तरफ से नहीं मिली. Now, no physical record. This is again a challenge. So, the new mobile monitoring system claims to increase the citizen oversight and bring transparency. बट अगेन जो खास करके फिजिकल रिकॉर्ड्स पहले रखी जाती थी वो अब नहीं है. हाउएवर इट अपीयर्स एग्जैक्टली द अपोजिट एंड विथ नो फिजिकल रिकॉर्ड्स खास करके जो अटेंडेंस है उसको ना होने की वजह से काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हुई है बिकॉज द वैल्यू द रेम्यूनरेशन दैट इज बीइंग क्रिएटेड हैज़ नॉट बीन फाइनलाइज्ड एंड इवन the exact value that should be there for the people who are working for the Manrega, the calculation mismatch has led to the decrease in the salary. So in district like West Simbhum in Jharkhand, वर्कर्स रिपोर्टेड टू हैव वर्कड ऑन मनरेगा प्रोजेक्ट बट अटेंडेंस रिकॉर्ड में उनकी अटेंडेंस अपडेट नहीं हुई इस ऐप में, जिस वजह से उनको पैसे भी नहीं मिले. So there's a clear erosion of transparency and citizen oversight that app claims to improve, but it is actually not helping at the ground. Now, strengthen the social audit. This is what has been reported. Basically, जो स्टेक होल्डर्स है उनका कहना है कि हमें सोशल ऑडिट पे ध्यान देने की जरूरत है. इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ फोकसिंग ऑन ऐप इंट्रोड्यूस्ड and other complex issues, the stakeholders strongly believe that social audit should be strengthened. And social justice are the citizen-centric institutions where the citizen of the panchayat have a direct role, and they have to say that yes, the functioning of a panchayat and even the monitoring by the panchayat should be also taken into consideration. This should not be solely the app based, because this app is not working out for the people who are working for it. Now, the audit have worked well in the past, allowing the local holders to invest in the decision and even hold administration accountable for themselves. So suppose if you're writing in मेंस पेपर, तो आपको ये बताना होगा कि किस तरह से ये ऐप, जहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट ये कोशिश कर रही है ट्रांसपेरेंसी लाने के लिए, बट एक ऐसे कम्युनिटी जो कि वेल एजुकेटेड नहीं है, उनके लिए इस तरह की ऐप बेस्ड में काफ़ी ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. जो उन्होंने एक्चुअल वर्क किया वो रिपोर्ट नहीं हो रही है, जिस वजह से उनके रेम्यूनरेशन भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा डिक्रीज हुए हैं. अगर ये करना है तो इससे पहले उनको ट्रेनिंग दी जाए, एंड दैट ट्रेनिंग हैज़ टू बी बैक्ड बाय कंपनसेशन, बिकॉज दे वुड बी लिविंग देयर वर्क. सो इन अ नटसेल, first government have to make a preparatory phase, then only this execution can be successful. Now, conclusion की अगर बात करें, it seems irony that applications meant to improve the citizen oversight, यहाँ पे विदाउट कंसल्टेशन ये चीज़ लाई गई, और जो फंक्शनिंग है गवर्नमेंट की और ऑफिशियल्स ने जिस तरह से इसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया वो एक प्रॉब्लम ही बनी है. The National Mobile Monitoring Software is an app that consequently binds the actual functioning of Manrega at the ground. And Ministry of Rural Development has a habit of passing reform with no stakeholders consultations, and even it do not fall with regard to the principle of transparency and citizen participation that is enshrined in the नरेगा. तो जो नरेगा की जो हार्डकोर कॉन्सेप्ट है कि सिटीजन की पार्टिसिपेशन होनी चाहिए, ट्रांसपेरेंसी लानी चाहिए, कहीं ना कहीं ट्रांसपेरेंसी को भी इम्पैक्ट कर रही है, एंड इवन टू द लार्जर एक्सटेंट it is impacting the citizen participation. So you have to balance your answer. आप थोड़ा क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं, न्यूट्रल क्रिटिसाइज करेंगे, ताकि एग्जामिनर को ये भी पता चले दैट व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू कन्वे, बिकॉज फॉर मासेस दिस इज नॉट हेल्पिंग आउट. सो यू हैव टू मेक अ बैलेंस क्रिटिसिज्म. सो दिस आंसर वुड बी comprehensive in its approach. Moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is D. Today's MCQ, Ambedkar Social Innovation and Incubation Mission. It aims to boost entrepreneurial incubation among the SC student and SC Divyanjans. The mission is under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So you can check it out, which among the following is the correct options. Second, consider the following statement about the Toropex 21. This exercise is being concluded in the Pacific Ocean region, and this is a bilateral level operational readiness exercise conducted. So do check it out for the correct options. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis, followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.